Parental discretion is advised.
It's time to bang, 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 bang. Hey, y'all. Welcome, everybody, to Bangin' 832 Radio and this special edition show. This is your Southern Fried Sister Girl, Suthunbelle, and I have none other than the legend. I can't stress that enough. The legend here with me in the flesh, Mr. Harvey Luv.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
What did it do?
What's
my
up?
No. What's
Okay,
happening?
for real, man? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let me give you a round of applause.
What's going on, man? What's happening?
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much, man. We got so much to talk about.
Indeed.
We got so much to talk about today. I'm so excited to have you here. Before we get started, let me go ahead and send some shout outs to some people because I don't want nobody hurting me. So shout out to the girls Trey and Tall D.
Yes,
I know they your partners as well. Yeah,
absolutely. My people right there.
Yeah, gotta shout them out. Yes, sir. Shout out to Bangin' 832's own Rush Poverty's poet. Today is his birthday, so turn up, bro. He probably ain't watching right now. He probably in a coma. Right now. That's how we do it. Right. Yeah, and shout out to all of y'all, man. If you're listening on Bangin' 832 Radio, we are live on Bangin' 832 Digital. Just go to the app or website and click Watch Now. You can also see us live on our YouTube page. Yeah. That's what's up, man. We got Mr. Harvey Luv in the house, the super producer extraordinaire and the artist. I have learned a lot on this journey.
Yeah. Wearing different hats.
I know you're a busy man.
Yes, indeed.
Right, very busy man. Indeed. And you got this great event coming up on Sunday. I can't wait to let you know about it. We're going to talk about all of that. But first, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go back to the beginning, your humble beginnings.
Right.
Talk about your beginnings, Hiram Clark and everything. Just everything.
Well, I actually got into music. Believe it or not, at 8 years old, and I was a DJ, and I know a lot of people that have heard me do interviews so many different places or whatever. They know that I've pretty much said this story a lot of times, but I pretty much started at around 8 years old, and started out as a DJ. Started out as a DJ at my mother's club, as a matter of fact. And so the way that happened was, I was just a kid at my mother's club. She didn't have my mother owned the club, but she didn't have an actual babysitter. So basically, she, would keep me in the back while she worked. So
you saw a lot of stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. And I know I'm dating myself, but at the same time, I want to tell people how this actually started. We had a jukebox. Okay. And if you know what a jukebox is, you probably my age, but if you don't, you're good. But a jukebox actually automatically plays the machine that automatically plays the records for you and all of that. And so it was a live DJ on weekends, and I was fascinated by this live DJ that would come and play for my mother's club on weekends. And she got the guy, and his name was Wild Child. Got the guy to teach me how to DJ and everything. I used to have to stand on bread crate to actually reach the turntables. Okay. And I actually learned how to do it, how to play the records and all of that. And I ended up being like a little phenom because it was like people would come, far and wide just to see this little kid play records and tell everybody, come on and get on the dance floor and all that kind of stuff like that. So, by this time, I'm probably about 9 or 10. By the time I was 11 years old, I was actually the only DJ. I was the main DJ for the club.
The only DJ.
Yeah, and I know, and it seems like, I know the fact that I was underage, it's against the law and all of that. But what happened was the police actually came to see me play. It was just, I was such a draw for people to, because people hadn't seen this. This little kid plays for this club, you got to see it. And, and they didn't, my mother, didn't get in trouble with it or whatever. So I went from there, went to DJing from my middle school. I went to Ryan Middle School. I went to DJing, and part of that, I went from there to DJing at Madison because I was living in Third Ward at the time. I'm from Third Ward originally, and we moved to Hiram Clark. I started doing all the high school dances in the cafeteria, the homecomings, and all that, and everything just blew from there. I ran into a guy named Big Mello through a guy named Jerry Holmes, introduced me to Big Mello. Big Mello put me actually in the game, as far as in the music game, and everything blew up from there. It just everything blew. We got with Rap a Lot, after I graduated from high school, and everything just shot straight up. Everything.
Yeah, that you really have a past, and I must admit, the whole sound of the South would not be what it is today had it not been for you.
Well, I hear that a lot of times, and I thank you so much. I'm so grateful for that. But at the same time, I would be remiss if I didn't actually mention so many different people. I'm just only one little piece to the puzzle because you have so many amazing producers that help with the sound. It's so many. It's too many to mention. Solo, Big Swift. Dirty Red. I mean, we just so many. Joe. We have so many. There's so many of us that was just amazing. We have a lot of different people. Platinum Soul. It's just so many different producers that help create that sound that we all together came up with. I'm just a piece of the puzzle, but I thank God for allowing me to be that piece though, because I definitely feel like I had my place.
Yeah, you definitely had your place, and
absolutely,
you're absolutely right to give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Big Swift, by the way.
Absolutely.
He came through not too long ago.
Right. Exactly.
Shout out to the boy Big Swift. But yeah, you're right. But you definitely are a piece in that puzzle, as you say.
Right. Exactly.
And the foundation and the format. So here's one thing I want to know. I gotta get it out of my system. What are the artists that were influential to you growing up? Who did you listen to when you were growing up?
Oh man, when I was growing up, as far as I'm like a Frankenstein made up of so many doctors. So as far as my DJing side, DJ Jazzy Jeff made me, I was like, it was, but he's banana. He still does lives right now where he's so cold. Cold for like 40 years. And so it's like DJ Jazzy Jeff is who I pattern a lot of my DJing and stuff like that behind or whatever. And I would say on my production, I always wanted to be like Dr. Dre. And one of my goats is actually a real friend of mine, is Scarface. So I have so many, I've always wanted to be like Dr. Dre on the producing, but my idol, I actually is my good friend, and that's Crazy C. He taught me how to produce. So there's nothing that I've gained, attained. None of that on my own. I always pay homage to those that just took me by the hand and say, look, Harvey, you do it like this. I've always been, God has always put people in my place to teach me, to guide me, and all that. I'm just grateful for that, because there's nothing I've done on my own. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna do this. Nah, it was always somebody in my path that said, hey, this is how you do it, and I just took it and ran with it.
Yeah, you're very humble, and I see that in you, and that's a very big thing. That's very important to possess right now, is the spirit of humbleness, especially in this game, because there are a lot of artists and producers and managers and just everybody that have these egos that are so inflated, and it's really their demise. It's really their downfall.
Yeah, because I know I can lie to you all day long, but I know when I look in the mirror and go to bed at night, I know I can't lie to me. And the truth is, there was so many people that took part, and even the studio. I want to record. I'm in the studio right now. I'm on this recording studio. A friend of mine showed me how to take the money that I made producing and go to the bank again and borrow against my own money to get this studio, and then pay the money back. Now I own my own job. So it's like it's the what I'm saying, that it was always somebody placed in my pathway to teach me how to do it. Always.
Yeah. For sure. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna take us a quick little music break, and we're gonna come back. I want to talk about the differences in your production and your performance. You know what I mean? You as an that Harvey Luv, the producer.
Absolutely.
We're gonna talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go nowhere.
No doubt.
Deuce out the roof. 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 Deuce out the roof.
No matter what you do, I'ma here to you and every barricade you haters got for me bust through. Show me nigga that my shows fucking out of time hoes.
Shout out to everybody watching us on Bangin' 832 Digital. If you want, go ahead and jump in the chat box. Let us know you're here so Harvey Luv can shout you out and say something to you. Or if you have a question for the man, jump in that chat box. Bangin' 832 Radio.
And all the nigga need is the money done running on your responsibility. Over me, the one of my seats now banging so hard, trying to break it from the beat. I can bleed without the wood and the ice and the flat blade. This thing's nothing nice.
Deuce out the roof. 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 Niggas ain't ready for me, the big D. Plenty of drinks to sip with 5 trees. That's what up without the moles. I chose to ride, cat the orange and peel, blue foes. I'm a player that chose the screen falling in my load. When I'm hugging the road, I flip glass 84. Now don't you know I can't be fucked with. Your wig is split if you smash my kid. When my deuce out the roof, I'ma steal the show. The way my two-prong twist picked up your hoe. I'ma shine and glow like a brand new star. Chris on the buck, get the slab of raw. The biggest you ever saw, and I do mean that. Catch me with 4 hoes in the Fleetwood lack. Staying strapped with the gag, cause it keeps me safe. From the ones that talk down and hate the way I skate. Deuce out the roof. Deuce out the roof. Deuce out the roof. Y'all deuce out the roof. Deuce out the roof. Deuce out the roof. I crawl down on Billy, biscuit on Billy, already in this game, so heavy. Trump body rock the block, shot pop when it pop. Lighting up Southside, break shop when it not. Glass goes and low bro, shut doors when they roll. From Buffalo to Postcode, got be out of control. Store close, city low, see blow crow. Wood grain, safe roads, crossing up the show. Drop screen.